Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers and subscribers, at the channel we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizens, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves lives. That is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives on this channel. We at this channel aid criminals, their financiers, their supporters, enablers, and the likes with a passion, and we do not want them over here. Yes, let us repeat ourselves. We do not want any criminal supporters over here. Please, we do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you, the criminal supporters, enablers, financiers, and all the likes, to go to prison or madness. Let me repeat myself. We at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we do not want the criminals. Yeah, so, we have been listening to, the recordings released by Serpi at Politics Watch. As we have stated before, that we support Politics Watch as a part of the Justice League. And we at the Jamaica Young Police channel, that we are all about bringing back Jamaica to the center. It's way to the left. Where criminals have all these rights. And, listening to one of the recording in which some viewers and subscribers from the Jamaica Young Police channel asked us to chime in. So we at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we're gonna oblige our viewers and subscribers, new and old. Yes, it's the first time to the channel. Consider subscribing to the channel. It doesn't cost a dime, a penny, a nickel, a ruble, nothing. It won't clog you. Most importantly, it won't clog your phone memory. Like the video, because trust me, this is quality what you're getting. You won't get anything like this over here elsewhere, because our channel is just totally different. So as you have heard in the recordings, that the banker, we soon delve into him. The banker stated that at times the only people that would visit Blackman were big shot police officers, and they would get information about raids and stuff like that before the police arrive. But we at the Jamaica Young Police channel, this is not no allegation. This is based on information received and obtained from even police officers who used to work at Spanish Town, even criminals that was killed, and criminals who are still operating within the space. So right now, if you look at your LCD, you will see that to your right, that's Harry Bungles. Yes, Harry Daly. Everybody know him as Bungles. And to below him, that's a man. We're not going to release his name now, but he's the cousin of Blackman Brian, and he was one of the persons who were killed at the Twickenham Park fishing village, and he was burned. Yes, beyond recognition. And during the trial, he was laughing. That man is his cousin, blood cousin. And you will hear further more about him, this man and Andre Blackman, because Andre Blackman's father was a Rasta man, and that man, that right there, brother or family. So we continue the journey. We have said that as Jamaicans, we are cultured to be criminals, criminal-minded, criminal supporters and sympathizers of criminals. But some of us are stating the high road and the right road by respecting the rights of others and the laws of Jamaica, by being ethical, honest, decent, conscientious, truthful, respect the rights of each and every person, and we are our brother's keeper. And we have put our life on the line for the Jamaican people, although they are ungrateful, and 8 members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the security force. They more respect people who are criminals than people who are law-abiding citizens. So, listening to the banker, you have stated some things, but we, as we said before, we have this information from a long time ago, from the trial started, about the banker and others in the gang. And the banker is not any ghetto youth, period. The closest the banker come to ever live in a ghetto is in Vineyard Town with his mother and other siblings. But so we'll soon get into that. So if you look at your LCD right now, you will see Ted Ogilvy was a government official and he was killed by his party gunmen, PMP. That was before it became the PMP LGBTQ plus party. Then below him now, that's Douglas Chambers, who was a government official being paid $1 Jamaican for his time and expertise. And the PMP LGBT plus gunmen kill him. It was an order given by a former minister of government. Yes, and we'll let you hear this weekend who is it. And thanks to the special branch police officer, who have been really helping this channel with all the information that we have been receiving. Because they are really, because that it was the PMP LGBTQ plus government that destroyed special branch. Yes, they dismantled it when Owen Ellington was commissioner of police, because they had the information of the minister, the former minister of the PMP LGBTQ plus party, who had given the order to kill Douglas Chambers. But because he was never brought in for questioning or anything like that, and they didn't have any direct evidence or circumstantial evidence apart from his trip to De La Vega City, meeting Tesha Miller in the vehicle along with his bodyguard. But these police bodyguard, although they are police officers, they are PMP LGBTQ plus supporters first. They don't see themselves as police officers, they see themselves as PMP police officers. Yes. So Dr. Peter Phillips, when your government allows criminals to flourish, it's a criminal organization operating as a government. Let me remind you, our loyal viewers and subscribers, that I have one fight in this matter. It is that we would love to see Jamaica return to its glory days of the 1980s, when criminals lived in fear of losing their lives and not the law-abiding citizens. And we can proudly tell you that the current PMP LGBTQ plus party is the only political party that to us is a criminal organization. Yes, the reason why we say the PMP LGBTQ plus party is a criminal organization, because look right there, both men are public officials and they were ordered killed by members within the PMP LGBTQ plus party and the PMP party back then. Only a criminal organization would operate as such, not a political organization. A political organization would reach out to other voters and try to win their hearts, but they don't. In that, they use terrorism and force people to come to their party. And what they have done, they have killed Douglas Chambers because this man was about to unravel serious corruption at the JUTC government agency. And to date, there has been no charges laid against the people who were involved in the killing of this man, apart from Tesha Miller and Blackman. But the main person, the person who's responsible for the death of this man, is still there. And we are going to tell you this Sunday. When we said this Sunday, we're talking this Sunday, no other Sunday. You understand? We're going to let you know the name of the person and the face. And thanks to the special branch police officer who have supplied us with such information. So, we just wish that Jamaica would return back to the days when criminals live in fear of losing their lives and not the law-abiding citizens. As we said before, we can proudly tell you that the current PMP LGBTQ plus party is the only political party that was as a criminal organization, because they are responsible for killing two government officials. One was a PMP party member. That's Ted Ogilvy, and he was the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Construction. Yes, and his name is Edward Ted Ogilvy, who was killed on June 16, 1997 by eight men on a motorcycle that shot the nation in broad daylight. The order came from a top-ranking PNP politician, and the second victim to be killed at the hands of the PNP LGBTQ plus gunmen were Douglas Chambers. So he's the second government official to be killed in Jamaica by men from the same political party. So it cannot be a political party, that's a criminal organization. Political party don't do its and government officials. And criminals do such things. So the PNP party is not a political party, it's a criminal organization. So the 2008 murder of Mr. Douglas Chambers, then chairman of the state-owned Jamaican Urban Transit Company, JUTC, was a contract killing, according to a witness of the trial of Tesha Miller, the then reputed leader of the notorious Spanish Town, St. Catherine-based Clansman gang. Now that our loyal viewers and subscribers, when we told you guys that the opposition leader Mark Golan would not denounce or distance himself from the perpetrators of the vandalism and subsequent arson of the PNP LGBTQ plus constituency office in Independent City, Portmore, St. Catherine, I hope you are getting the full picture of who's responsible for the terrorists in our midst that operate tacitly by the party elites like Paul Burke. Yes, Paul Burke. I'm going to tell you how Paul Burke, when he was leader of the PNPYO, how he disrespected the police in 1977. Let me educate you about these people. Is either you're going to let them think for you or you are going to think for yourself. That is what we at the Jamaica Young Police channel have been saying. And one of our mottos is, you watch, you listen, and you decide. General Starkey's life of crime began long before those turbulent, tempestuous times. In 1977, General Starkey, that's Anthony Tingle, he topped the police most wanted list, and a reward of $3,000 was posted for his capture. The posting of General Starkey as a most wanted criminal by the police was frowned upon by PNP Youth Organization, which issued a statement saying the PNPYO was extremely disturbed. More than 6 months later, the party disciplinary committee suspended the PNPYO president, Paul Burke, for issuing a statement. Burke's suspension was a signal that the inventors of political monsters are now fed up with their creations and sanctioning their demise. Let me repeat myself, because most of you people think that when I am talking, I am always saying things because I hate the PNP. It's not it, I am just telling you the truth. As I've said before, I rather you give me the book than the gun. Because the gun is to destroy, to kill another black man. The book is to educate me, let me think, read and think and expand my brain, so I can be even an inventor. You understand? And as you can look right now at the LCD, you can see that that's the funeral program for the late Ted Ogilvy. Yes, and as you can look now, you can see one of his killer's daughter, that is Tony Brown, his daughter Angela Brown Burke, in the Jamaican Parliament, a reward for killing this man who is a Jamaican patriot and not a criminal. So you have the criminal's daughter in the House of Parliament passing laws now against criminals in the Parliament, and her father was at one time the most wanted man in Jamaica. You can't make this up, believe you me. Yes, and this is Jamaica, the criminal's paradise. You understand? So now most of us have heard about the Clansman banker from the Clansman case trial, And most of you would think that he was some poor youth who had to turn to crime for him to make money. It is the opposite about this man. I will call Biggs, some of the accused persons in the Clansman one Dan gang trial know his first name as Kirk. I will not reveal any personal information about him or his family, but one thing that I can tell you is that the only time Biggs had ever lived among the ordinary people was when he used to live in Vineyard Town with his mother and a sibling. Biggs got the opportunity to make himself a better man and create a better life in the United States of America, but he chose to be involved in criminal activities. He was arrested and charged with drugs dealing, and he jumped the case, and there's a warrant out for his arrest in the United States of America. I'm not going to state the state. The only reason why he flipped on the others in the case is to save himself and nothing else. I will give you an audacity on him by this weekend as we have the information. Anyway, the reason for this video is that the banker, that's Kirk Biggs, had mentioned that high-ranking police officers were supporting the Clansman one Dan gang operated by Andre Blackman Bryan out of Jones Avenue, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. It's close to Greendale with entrance from the Spanish Town bypass highway and the main road going through Greendale to Ferry Highway. The Clansman banker is correct about the information about senior police officers affiliated with the gang operations and has played an integral role in allowing both factions of the Clansman gang to survive to this day. Remember that criminals cannot survive without the help of the police, and for criminals to survive with the help of the police, they have to become a part of the organization some way, somehow, or for some form of comfort or support or both. So it was done. The support to the to both criminal organization, it was done with the blessing of the political party of the PNP LGBTQ plus government, and I can tell you, my loyal viewers and audience member, that the late ACP Donald Pusey was a man I had the greatest respect for as a leader and a crime fighter, and has been on several raids with him, and the respect was reciprocated by him. I tell you that when he was transferred to Huntsville Police Station as the commanding officers, we had a private conversation because he know that, we are a crime fighter. So when I asked him why he did not get Bulby before leaving Spanish Town, his words to me was, Porter, he didn't even say Spanish Town, he said Spanish Town is like a swamp. It's pure corrupt police over there, and if you are not careful, you will get killed over there as a police officer. Your boy Ludlow Moat speak highly of you, but some of the police, especially the detectives, do not like him and Charlie Mendes because they do not understand when it comes to gunmen. Some of these police officers are more clans than police because of politics. Look what the party did to Eddie Robinson, he said to me. So basically what he had explained to me what the party had done. The Prime Minister had chooses the most wanted man over Eddie Robinson. So that's the man that Harry Bungles right now you're looking at. That's the man that Harry Bungles made. This man loses his life because he gave a statement against his cousin Andre Blackman Bryan. Yes, this man was a witness to the murder. He's related to Blackman. But Blackman did not know that he had given the police a statement. Even the people that went to Twickenham fishing village and killed him and two other persons, most of them did not know that this man is related to Blackman. Blackman's father, who's a Rastaman, is related to this man's father. But you'll hear more about that. Yes, because it seemed like everything now has to transition just to what's going on now with the Clansman gang. So before I continue to corroborate the Clansman banker about senior police officers having ties to link to the upper echelon of the police force and the political directorate at the time, You are going to be shocked to learn that two of your favorite bad boy police officers, Senior Superintendent of Police Renita Adams and Superintendent Harry Bungles Daly, are known members of the Clansman gang that operate in Spanish Town, St. Catherine and its environs. They provide various tasks for the gangs, helping them with intelligence, provide them with heads up information about raids that's supposed done, arrests and investigations. And their emissary, Muma, was one of the conduits between them and the gang. So they are known gang members. These police officers, no if nor buts. And let us remind you that the gang under the leadership of Donovan Bulby Bennett was never being hunted by the police in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, because they were on the take on his payroll, except for my former team leader Ludlow Mott and Charlie Mendez and a few other police officers. Yes, Superintendent Harry Bungles Daly is responsible for the death of 3 people, 2 men and a woman. Here is a photo of one of the men. That's the young man that you're looking at right there, who was killed at the Twickenham Park fishing village, and their bodies were burned beyond recognition. The shooting was allegedly carried out by members of the Wandan gang led by Andre Blackman Bryan. The gang reportedly targeted victims because 2 of them were related, and one of the deceased is a cousin of Andre Blackman Bryan. We will give you some context about the killing of Blackman's cousin and 2 other family members that he is responsible for killing, whom he had received information from the Superintendent of Police Harry Bungles Daly why these people were killed. After the murder of Douglas Chambers, the JUTC chairman, YPMP LGBTQ plus gunmen, and the orders of Tesha Miller, and the orders was given to him by not a regular politician but a former minister of government who had given the orders to kill Douglas Chambers, and Special Branch knew the name of the minister. We at the Jamaica Young Police Channel will give you the name of the PMP LGBTQ plus minister who ordered it on Douglas Chambers. Some of you might be shocked and others won't be perturbed at all, because the history of the PMP LGBTQ plus party is a criminal organization. Superintendent of Police Harry Bungles Daly provided information to Andre Blackman Bryan and let him kill one of the witnesses who witnessed the killing of Douglas Chambers. Here are a few reasons why a police officer might help criminals by giving names of witnesses. Corruption. Yeah, Harry Bungles is a police officer. Is that maybe Harry Bungles is corrupt and he work with criminal? This is a serious problem and it can happen in any country, but in Jamaica it's taboo. Criminal-minded police officer is a criminal in uniform pretending to be a law-abiding citizen when he's nothing but a thug and a lawbreaker. That's how Harry Bungles operating from ever since. The police officer may be under pressure from his handlers within the PMP LGBTQ plus party hierarchy, who are responsible for him being a member of the police force because of a number of criminal infractions that Superintendent Harry Bungles Daly has survived. Yes, Bungles have been charged with rape, Bungles been charged with biting a helper, punani, Bungles charged with extortion. Boy, Bungles come on an investigation for all kind of crime you can think of. I remember that even the police them search Bungles house and find a gun, but Bungles smart, Bungles didn't go with them, so they could not prove possession. You understand? Yeah, so it's sad to say you have these police officers that a lot of people would look up to and think that they are honest, decent, ethical and morally inclined police officer, but nothing but they are just, it's just a facade, like Bungles. and even Renita Adams. But the only thing that you can say with the difference between both men, Renita Adams have a heart and a soul. Bungles don't have none. Because when Bungles walking and the sun shining, people, everybody say that Bungles don't have any shadow. That means him doesn't have a... Look, and if you know him, and you're walking with him today, just look and see if there's any shadow if you're walking with him in the day outside. They say when Bungles walk, there's no shadow. The man have no soul. Because you know your shadow is your soul, you know. That is a reflection of you on the ground. So that's the beauty about God. God is the creator of all living things. Yes, and it's a reason why you might hear my voice, you know, kind of hoarse. And later on, I'll explain what happened. So the police, yeah, you know, Bungles was under pressure because I'm handlers, you know, and them want him to do things, say, take care of the criminals them. You understand? And Bungles have been, you run afoul of the law many times. Yes. Yeah, so, you know, it is this connection why Bungles, you know, was, remain in the police force, because the amount of criminal infraction that Superintendent Daly have survived, it is because of his connection with the PNP LGBTQ plus party, which was in government and nothing else. It's tied to criminals or their associates. You know, everyone know that Bungles is unknown. Is that any criminal, from you have money, Bungles and you're a friend. Bungles will all put up all police, killer and all them things. Because so him, Bungles now, him no core belief, him at the bottom when it come on to, you know, not upholding the law for money. Yes, that's the kind of person he is. Harry Bungles is not the kind of police where. So that's the difference between him and Renita Adams. Renita Adams, although him is a PNP LGBTQ plus activist, at least him have a heart. Bungles now have no heart or conscience. Bungles has money. All even soulful people Bungles will take money from. That's how depraved he is as a police officer. And police like that dangerous. And before we even go further, another thing, there's a second police officer now that I learned that Bungles involved in his killing. He and the guy Power Ranger, but we'll talk about that later. Why I'm telling you, these police, I don't know, boy, it just sad rasta, oh, Jamaica, you know, oh, we have reached this point. You understand? You know, why may I tell you? So yeah, so the reason Bungles, you know, survive is because I'm criminal ties to the PNP LGBTQ plus party, which was the government at the time. Because most of the things our regular police could not get by the job, but you know, no, I saw a thing going and thing because the people them, you know, in Jamaica when people have higher rank than you in any organization and they tell you to do something, is either you're going to do it or you resign. And most of the time, you know, people just go along because a part of the machine, you know, you understand, the PNP LGBTQ plus machine. So they make sure them stack it everywhere with alcohol. You have to be a criminal-minded person and commit crimes for the PNP party, for them, you will get any big post in it. You know, just get posted because you qualify. And that's how it works. You qualify because of crimes and you commit. So that's why Angela Brownberg get a seat in the parliament, because her father had killed Ted Ogilvie, yes, the permanent secretary for the Ministry of Construction. So we know that the criminal, them bribe Harry Bungles, you know, and that's why he gave them the name of the witnesses, because this man is a man who lack a thing called conscience, decency, honesty, truthfulness, ethics, morality, and the respect for the laws of Jamaica or other jurisdiction, yes. And the reason I say that because I work with Harry Bungles, you know. Harry Bungles Harry Bungles have no loyalty to anyone. The only loyalty Harry Bungles have is to money and power. You know, no matter how you think that you and Bungles tight, you and him not tight. So as you can look right there now on your LCD to show you that the PNP party is a party that love killers. Opposition leader Mark Boland right there, love killers that he marches with Danville Palmer, who was released from Horizon prison after serving time for killing of another unarmed Jamaican. The PNP LGBTQ plus party is a criminal organization and not a political party. Danville Palmer, you know, he's not originally from Jonestown, you know. This man is from Tivoli. This man is a shower posse man. This man is a laborite originally. This is a man who marched in 2010 with Dudus Coke when he was wanted for extradition, and they're taking him to Fletchersden, and Danville Palmer was the man who killed Mr. Lyons, a man who was sitting in his car beside the Fletchersden police station. This man, Danville Palmer, is the same man who burned down the Anatown police station, and he was in the company of the opposition leader, Mark Golding. So Mark Golding become the Prime Minister. Don't expect him to go back to this, the 90s when time you get the Clansman gang. More or less now maybe you might get a different gang. Because during the 1970s, you know, Michael Manley gave us the Hot Stepper gang, that had a gang with copper them. Yeah, so you understand. So police officer Superintendent Harry Daly, some people say, boy, you know, a lot of people misunderstand him. Yes. But we are saying that, you know, it's not misunderstanding, you know, people did not misunderstand Harry Bungles at all, because Harry Bungles Daly is a man who's corrupt to the core. So Harry Bungles did not misunderstand the laws or the situation. What he did was premeditated, without any second thoughts of his action as a man, an empty shell of a police officer. This man was only police by name but not by his deeds. The reason why we at the Jamaica Young Police Channel knew this information is that the police personnel had the names of the witnesses and their whereabouts, and he, Harry Bungles, was the only person not only suspected of leaking the same, but he's the only person who had connection to the criminal underworld and ties to Andre Blackman Bryan. If you remember that there was a Clansman dance that was being held in Spanish Town after the killing of these people at the Twickenham Park fishing village. If you remember that, and I'm just talking from memory, when the soldiers raided the dance, SSP Newton Amos was the ear officer at Era 5, and they did not give Harry Bungles any heads up that they were going to raid the dance, because the Clansman dance, and he was present. And Harry Bungles was disarmed by the soldiers and handcuffed. Yes, disarmed, and he was threatened, you know, with death. Yes, the big bad Bungles. Soldier disarmed him in a dance, and because the soldiers had outnumbered the police officers and the gunmen. So you can look up that if you are able to find it on the internet, because in case you do not know, the Jamaican Gleaner and the Observer, they are good at scrubbing out things that make the political party, the PNP LGBTQ plus party, expose their actions. So you have to pay for it. That's how it is. Nothing is free when it comes on to them, because it's knowledge, you know. They don't make it accessible to the regular people, so you have to pay. So whatever the reason for Harry Bungles' action, it is illegal for a police officer to give the name of witnesses to a criminal. This is because it put the witnesses at risk of intimidation, of harm, or losing their life. And that is what happened to this man. Harry Bungles gave Andre Blackman Bryan this man's name, address, and even the man's description. But based on the name, the man knew who the witness was, because it's his cousin. You understand? And Bungles is the one that did that. And we say that here, we're not saying an allegation, because this come from special branch people who have intimate information. Because you know, special branch people write report. You know, special branch officers, they had, I don't know, but I heard that they have taken a different oath apart from the oath that we as regular police take on to serve and protect. But I don't know if, you know, these police officers, you know, sharing information with me, if they are breaking any oath. You know, they say it's work as it's state secret. But these police officers are patriots, because, you know, as they have stated, they haven't seen any channel operators. We have, you know, fair and unbiased. Yes, we are balanced. We are not, you know, we are not on any political agenda for anyone. You understand? We just say it as it is, and you know, we appreciate the information given to us, and we applaud, you know, the efforts put out by these members from the special who used to be at special branch. And we respect you and thanks again. Yeah, so Bungles' action was illegal, you know, to do that. Yeah, you have to think, you understand? You can't, as police officer, you give criminal the name of witnesses and where them live. That's wrong, man. In some cases, the police can protect the identities of witnesses by giving them pseudonyms or giving their names confidential. However, this is not always possible, and witnesses should be aware of them being exposed, especially in high-profile cases. So this man, you know, that loses his life, if he had known that he would lose his life, because he was given their assurance by the police, because they were going to put certain things in place to move him, but that did not, you know, did not reach that juncture, and he was killed. So as you can see right there now on your LCD, you know, because we're just educating it to in various ways, you know. To the right bottom left, that lady in the glasses, her name is Angela Brown. She's a member of parliament. Her father, the late Tony Brown, who was one of Jamaica's most wanted men in the 1980s, her father killed the man above her, Ted Ogilvy, and her reward for her father's criminal act. Yes, yeah, in the PNP party, you can't accent to no office unless you have to, you know, it's like a reward system. You understand? And she has been rewarded with a seat in parliament to pass laws against criminals. You know, can remember that's what lawmakers do, you know. So her father was a lawbreaker, now she's a lawmaker. So who would you believe? Don't wonder why you have murder people commit murder in Jamaica, they get 3 years in prison. Because her father was a murderer. You understand? So those are the people that's running our country in Jamaica, criminal-minded people. Yes, and you know, look right there now, that's the man they call Tesha Miller, the one with the dreads are in plot of him here, and he's the leader of the Clansman gang, and the man who gave Blackman the order to kill Douglas Chambers. Both men are PNP LGBTQ plus supporters and enforcers for the organization hierarchy, the machine. Yes, you know, criminal organization. So whatever the reason is, it is illegal for the police officer to give the names of witnesses to criminal. So right there now, we're looking at another, you know, this is Isaac Buchanan, a PNP LGBTQ plus human rights lawyer and a twice convicted court dealer. Yes, he's a convicted court dealer, and the man is now an officer of the court. So he's one step ahead, and the next thing, you know, say a convicted court dealer, you know, can be the Chief Justice of Jamaica. That's how it is, you know, you understand? So the Jamaican government knew the former Minister of Government who gave the order to kill Douglas Chambers, but they never questioned him. We will put a face this Sunday. So moving on. You know, the One Dan Gang is a notorious criminal organization involving several murders, shooting and drug trafficking. The gang is based in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, but operates in other parts of Jamaica. The murder in Twickenham Park reminds us, that's of the witness, reminds us of the violence still prevalent in Jamaica. The One Dan Gang is a dangerous criminal organization and has caused a great deal of harm to the community. The authorities must bring those responsible for these murders to justice. Among the men who participate in the killing is the alleged gang leader of the One Dan faction, of the gang, Andre Blackman Bryan. The trial is presided over by Chief Justice Brian Lega Sykes. Yeah, that's him right there. Boy, may I tell you. Yeah, so Chief Justice Brian Lega Sykes is a PNP, is allegedly a part of the criminal machine in Jamaica, and he owes his seat to Dr. Peter Phillips. Yeah, he owed his seat to Dr. Peter Phillips. And you know that you know, his chair seat is because of his connection to the PNP LGBTQ plus party. The witness says that Blackman Brian called him and told him, that's a banker talking, told him to inform one of the gang members, a man he called Ray Blacks. So Andre Blackman Brian, so anybody who black them call him, them give them last name as Blacks, to ready up the dopey chuck. The dopey chuck mean that the chuck where them used to kill people. You understand? So on day 6 of the trial, the banker, he had told the court that the vehicle was so called because every time it drives out is either a shooting or a murder. The banker says Brian instructed him and another gang member he called Squeeze Eye to see if they saw the intended targets of that shooting 3 men. He said when he saw them, they told Brian via phone. According to the witness, Brian told them to scout the area, meaning to do recce, you understand, and the area of a police while Ray Blacks and the other gang members came to carry out the shooting. The witness says by the time they start looking for any police officers, the men had already started the shooting. So you see criminals organizing with them, are kill people and them have lookout and all them things. So you understand. So he said when they met up later that day, one of the gang members, a man he called Maga Dog or Maga Man, said he had missed his target. The witness said the other gangsters were laughing, but Brian was furious because he wanted those men killed. He says Brian instructed him to pilot Ray Blacks to the lane in Bucktown to hide back the dopey truck. He said he understood that to mean driving in front of Ray Blacks and ensuring no police were present because Brian never wanted the police seizing that vehicle. The witness says he drove Brian Blackman to his home in what he called Uptown. That's Uptown in Uptown Kingston, which part the elites have lived. A taxi driver. Yeah, so the witness says he was the banker of the gang and Brian's driver. So that's the same man who told us about the police that were coming at tint up vehicle. A taxi driver who worked in the Spanish Town area controlled by Clansman gang just want us at the Jamaica Young Police Channel to know that since Tesha Miller got 35 years imprisonment for killing of Douglas Chambers and Andre Blackman Brian soon get sentenced, the extortion got no worse than before. The dons them used to collect $1,000 from the coaster buses. Now that the dons are in prison, termite have increased to $2,500 and they are complaining that the cost of living is getting higher. Inflation means that they will have to raise the extortion fee anytime them see it fit because they are the government here. They have fewer murders and now they are having more than double the money to buy guns and bullets to finance themselves and their criminal operations in the presence of the young police officers who don't even do anything because some of them complains that when they are finished working they do not have any guns to protect themselves, so they see and blind, hear and deaf. Now how you have the police are going to work and they must see and blind, hear and deaf? That's not good, man. So these criminals are making up to $250,000 per day from us taximen and bus drivers, and they do not know how much we pay to buy our vehicles, pay insurance, gas, and service the vehicle among other things, and this is what we are dealing with every day. Some of the police are not doing anything about it. The bad man collect money every day, even on the camera the government set up, and they know what's going on in the bus park. The same way in Alpha 3 JUTC bus park collect the cash, or on Mullines Road near Eastwood Park Road, and the police see these men every day and know them. And the shocking part is most of these extortionists and the police are friends. Jamaica is not a safe place. We need police like Moa, Charlie Mendes, Leng, Biggerford, Adams, Punge, Bobby Reds, Idol, Magla, Mitchie, Tony Fry, Kelso Small, the sheriff, to name a few who like preemptive strikes, cause it save lives and also disrupt the gangs. Please keep my information confidential. Just want you to know I don't hate the police, but in Jamaica you can't trust some of them because they are working with the criminals most of the time. They are still have a few good ones you can trust. They are located at the Twin Towers. When the police officer trade information to a gang for money, they commit a serious crime. This is called corruption, and it can have a devastating impact on public safety. The consequences of police corruption can include the following. They are endangering the lives of witnesses and informants. When criminals know the identity of witnesses and informants, they are more likely to intimidate or kill them. This can make it difficult for the police to investigate crimes and bring criminals to justice, undermining public trust in the police. When people believe that the police are corrupt, they are less likely to report crimes or cooperate with investigations. This makes it more difficult for the police to do their job and keep the community safe. It is disrupting the rule of law. When the police break the law, it undermines the rule of law. This means that the people cannot be sure that they will be treated fairly by the police, and it can lead to social unrest. The consequences of police corruption are so serious that it is essential to hold police officers who engage in this behavior accountable. The penalties for police corruption varies from country to country, but they typically include jail time. Police officers who are convicted of corruption should be sent to prison. The length of sentence will depend on the severity of the crime. Police officers convicted of corruption will typically be fired from their jobs. This means that they will lose their livelihood and their pension. Civil penalties. Police officers convicted of corruption may also be ordered to pay civil penalties. These penalties can be used to compensate corruption victims or fund law enforcement initiatives. In addition to these legal consequences, police officers who engage in corruption may also face social and professional repercussion, receive priority. They may be shunned by their colleagues, lose their friends and family, and have difficulty finding a new job. In Jamaica, when you are corrupt, nobody vex with you and anything. The people revere, laud you and celebrate you. It's police officer like me, who do not like thieving police officer. I will be one who shunned by their colleagues. Yes. So it's that would be in a different jurisdiction. But in Jamaica, you thief, you say all assistant and deputy commissioner of police, I follow you go to court, you commit corrupt and thing. So they will normalize it and I give credence to it. Yeah, and my friend him can't do anything, so them go to court and march on the court. Police, big wig police. And then after that man get a commissioner of police because them say, well, you're a criminal and them thing. So that's how the system works. So the consequences of corruption, of police corruption, are serious and far-reaching. It is the sentencing, but knowing how Jamaica operate, only the little constables go to prison for corruption, and not the gazetted officers. And it is crucial to hold police officers who engage in the behavior to ensure public safety and the rule of law. We, as Jamaicans, are cultured to be criminal-minded, criminal supporters and sympathizers of criminal. It is not a harmful stereotype that perpetuates the idea that Jamaicans are inherently violent and criminal-minded. But this is how the system is designed, from the media houses to our political leaders. Those who want to think that is a stereotype that can lead to discrimination and profiling of Jamaica, both in Jamaica and abroad, is wrong. All we are doing is speaking the truth about our country and its cultures. There is undoubtedly small numbers of Jamaicans involved in criminal activities, but this is the norm. We have seen a twice convicted drug dealer, Isaac Buchanan, being rewarded with a clean police record and now access to the seat of justice as an officer of the court. Can you show me an honest criminal? Yes, show me an honest criminal, because To be an officer of the court, you're supposed to be honest, ethical, decent. So everything in Jamaica, them have broke it down more and more. So it's a criminal paradise. Tell me if it's not a criminal paradise. Or you have a twice convicted drug dealer as a lawyer and an officer of the court. Him can't be honest. So I tell you, I show the people them in Jamaica say the system is not honest. It's a corrupt system. You understand? So, them reward him with a clean police record and no access to the seat of justice as an officer of the court. You understand? A mass majority of Jamaicans are law-abiding citizens who want to live in a safe and prosperous country, but are afraid of the gunmen who are allowed by the government to operate with impunity, as if they have immunity from the laws of Jamaica. There used to be many factors that contribute to crime in Jamaica, including poverty, inequality, lack of opportunity, and exposure to violence. But not anymore, because most of these killers and dons are wealthy compared to the others 20 years ago. These factors can lead to a culture of violence and crime, but they do not mean that all Jamaicans are criminals. It is some of them, and it makes the law-abiding citizens look bad. It is important to remember that crime is a complex issue with many contributing factors. It's also essential to challenge a harmful stereotype about Jamaica culture. We must remember that Jamaicans are just as diverse as any other population group. Every country has good and bad people, and Jamaica is no exception. When a young man witnessed the leader of the opposition party, Mark Golding, marching with a known killer, Danville Palmer. Yes, Danville Palmer is a known killer. It sends a message that the party is not serious about crime or violence. It also states that the party is willing to associate with criminals, which can give legitimize criminal activity and make it more difficult to fight crime. So that's why the Clansman gang did survive, and still surviving, because they can't survive without the help by police, and politicians. The message that the leader of the opposition party is sending to the population is that he is not concerned about the rule of law or the safety of the people. He is sending a message that he is willing to do whatever it takes to win, even if it's mean associating with criminals. This message is dangerous and harmful. It sends the message that criminals is acceptable and criminals should not be feared. Wow. So that Mark Golding doing and people fear they're criminal them. If you love them and treat them with kids law and sympathize with them, anytime anything happen to you, criminal them. Yes. So what he's doing is desensitizing the populace to accept someone violating their human rights. This can lead to an increase in crime and violence, as well as a decrease in public trust in the government. But the DNA of the PNP LGBTQ+ party, which is a criminal organization and nothing else, because when an official is willing to tell young men to kill a government official, Douglas Chambers, it is because he knows that Jamaica is a criminal's paradise, that he feels and knows that he's going to get away with ordering the killing of a patriot. Leaders must communicate that crime is unacceptable and that criminals will be held accountable for their actions. Leaders should also send a message that they are committed to the rule of law and safety of the Jamaican people. This is the only way to create a safe and just society. Let's work together to create a more just and peaceful society for all Jamaicans, regardless of background and beliefs. We at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we denounce all those who support criminals, give them comfort, finance, support, enable them, and protect them. We know that Dr. Peter Phillips is the godfather for the Clansman gang, and we know that the Clansman gang strive under the PNP LGBTQ+ party. Yes, and remember, we at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we're just talking from memory, that when Peter Bunting was Minister of National Security and he went with Owen Ellington to visit De La Vega City, the criminals that lives in that midst were complaining about a police officer by the name of half a dog or something of the sort. And this police officer, from based on information received and obtained, is a very hard-working police officer, and he was transferred from St. Catherine North to St. Catherine South because the criminals at De La Vega City, they did not like him and they fear him, and the minister transferred him as usual. Welcome to the Jamaica criminal's paradise in the Caribbean Sea. Yes, that's what it is and nothing else. What the banker have stated, that he police officer, police in unmarked sports utility vehicle came into Jones Avenue several times, and when they went there, they were doing transactions and stuff like that. That is true. I have no reason to disbelieve the banker because he's coming from the belly of the beast. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.